Episode 12, Season 7. It's the Christmas episode. Welcome to the Northstars Show. I'm your host, Bruce Krentz. We purposely didn't bring the jacket this time around. Paul left it at home, but he brought me his favorite Christmas sweater. So he's a guy with more jet swag than anybody, including, you gotta love this. Yeah. This is pretty much as good as it gets, I'd say. Welcome to the show. We gotta get this shout out of the way right before we get started. Tasman Higgins, the biggest fan of the Northstar Show there is. He's watched every episode we've had, even before I started hosting the show, before you were ever on the scene. Watched one of the year-end wrap-ups 36 times. Big fan. So Tasman number 18 on your Norman Wolves. The Wolves had a really great weekend. Lost one in a shootout. Won one down south, so great year for them. So shout out to Taz. Keep it up, our biggest fan. Joining me here is Dredyn Melstad. We heard you cut school to work on your hair today. I hope that's not true.
No, I had a first period spare, so I took advantage of that. A few products in here, hairspray, blow dry. Paul told me last Tuesday, he said Christmas edition this Tuesday, so I'm expecting the hair done. I put it in my phone, I put my hair products out on the sink in case I forgot. So when I woke up this morning, I'd see it and I'd be like, oh yeah.
So done.
Yep.
That does look good. We even brought it here into the Gordon Beard Arena, which the new LED lights in here are fantastic. And with that hair, the green sweater for Christmas too. So we appreciate you doing that. We didn't see the games down on the weekend, but you did. So tell us what just happened here. Friday night?
Friday night, I thought that was a really good game. It was 3-2 until about 2.5 minutes in the third there. And then Mikey Barron took a penalty, and then they potted it about 15 seconds into the penalty there to make it 4-2, and then that was it. Goals from Mitch Reed, he got both those. He got one with about 20 seconds left in the first there. He just intercepted it, took a slap shot, went off the defenseman's knee and in. And then Mikey Barron was battling for the puck down low, and he threw it out front, and Mitch was right there to tap her in.
Put it away, redeemed himself after taking a bad penalty maybe, a little bit?
Yeah.
Feels good. And Saturday, we didn't get a win there either, but what shook down?
It was a little bit of a rough start, I think. There, the boys weren't really going. I think we only managed like 5 shots in the first, and then Kian started there, and a few bounces didn't go his way, and then I got put in there, and it was just, we picked it up again in the, I think the third there, and we got like 25 shots, but we got outshot like 52 or something to 25 or 24, and then Sunday's game there, it was the same outcome. We, after the first period, it was 17-1 shots for Yellowhead and 3-0, and then we came back in the third there and got a few more shots, but Mitchell Reed got a goal, Mikey Barron, Jerome Linklater, and I think that was it for the goal scorers this weekend.
Nice to have Jerome back again, and some of those guys from injuries, but when you give up that many shots and don't get enough yourself, it doesn't go good.
Yeah.
That's the story. Dredyn Melstad, thanks for telling us what just happened here. Thanks for fixing up the hair. Looks fantastic. Coming up on the show, do we have a Stripes right behind us here? We've got Donnie Mitchell coming on the show. He's the referee in chief in Thompson, and he's talking about the Thank the Stripes weekend where we got a chance to recognize them. I think they did that at your game too.
Yeah, we did that Friday there. We acknowledged them there, had a little salute for them, and it was nice. Didn't know about it until then, but yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Matt Rempel here won a bit of an award too for an up-and-coming referee, so awesome that we get Donnie on the show. He gives us a little look behind the scenes with the referees too, so it's kind of nice to have that. Frederick, Ledoux, and a player to be named later on the 2-on-1, and the North Star insider, Stuart Walter's back. So he's going to do a little chat with Coach James Buchanan. That's coming right up, right here on the Northstars Show.
Stuart Walter here with Northstars head coach James Buchanan. It didn't go the way I don't think anybody wanted this weekend. One of the highlights was Mitchell Reed getting 3 goals. How nice is it to have him back healthy and in the lineup? I know he's been in and out with injury all season.
Yeah, well, every time he gets out there, he's a threat to put pucks in the net. So any time we have a chance to get him out there on the ice, it's obviously to our benefit. So, he's continued to click in with the goals, fairly frequently for us. So every chance we get to have him in the lineup, it's going to help our team offensively anyway.
One of the main things that your team has struggled with all season is shots allowed. I know in the penalty box, I often hear the Northstars goalies complaining to the refs that we're not paying enough attention to the shots on net. What's one thing that the team could do to improve on to maybe cut down on the shot attempts?
Well, got to get into the shooting lanes a little bit more, and that's something we've been working on defensively, is making sure our forwards are being more aware of where their point men are and having better coverage there, and when they are pushing out, that we're taking care of those shooting lanes a little bit better.
Kenora is here this coming weekend. Could you give the viewers a bit of a taste of what it was like? I know it was early in the season, but it was still a taste of action against the Thistles.
Well, they have a fairly seasoned team. They're a little bit older than most teams in the league this year, and they have a lot of size. So they tend to like to play a physical kind of game, a little rough and tumble, and they like to get into shootouts. So look for some fast-paced kind of end-to-end action from them with a lot of hard hitting.
And then finally, you didn't get any goals against Kenora in the first series. I believe it was the second and third games of the season. What do the Northstars have to do differently this upcoming weekend to get a few pucks past their keepers?
Well, I mean, I think we're a different team than we were in week one, obviously. So, the guys have all had an opportunity to come together and to gel a little bit more. So, offensively, the last few weeks we haven't been too terribly bad. The last weekend we didn't get a whole lot of goals, but up before that we were scoring with some good routine. So, I think that that's something that they didn't see when we were out there, 2 months ago now.
Well, best of luck this weekend, Coach.
Thank you.
This is a minor hockey moment, a chance for us to explore all the nooks and crannies, the little bits and pieces of minor hockey. This time we're in the inner sanctum. This is a place that not many people get to go to. We're inside the referee room in between the two arenas here in the CA Nesbitt. Joining me is Donnie Mitchell. Donnie, the referee in chief for minor hockey this year. Thanks for doing that. You're the first referee we've ever talked into being on the show, the first person that's ever trusted us not to rip you about that call. What were you thinking? I really appreciate you being on the show. Let's start off with Thank the Stripes, which is an initiative that went on the weekend, and I think this is just fantastic. So tell us what that's all about.
Yeah, for sure. It was a Hockey Manitoba initiative there for this year, December 8th to 10th. It just so happened to be on our Bantam tournament, which worked out great.
Yeah.
Basically, it's Hockey Manitoba's way of showing appreciation to the officials. Actually, there's over 1,600 on-ice officials throughout the province. Yeah. So, a way for local businesses maybe to step up and show their appreciation. It worked out really good with the Bantam tournament being on. We had lots of support. We had people that donated services. We had food, refreshments through the whole weekend. Did a little spiel during opening ceremonies, which was nice. So it was really, really good. It was nice to see.
It worked out great, and it was pretty neat. We got a chance to check out. You guys sent out a tweet that got a lot of likes, I guess, with a few of our local referees, and we noticed that it was going on all across Manitoba. So, were other people doing sort of similar stuff to us, trying to just generate some interest?
Yeah, there was actually. I'm not much of a Twitter follower or anything like that, which I get a little ribbing from my kids, but my wife is, and we were going on there looking, and there was lots across the province that had, I guess, hashtag Thank the Stripes, so that was really good to see.
Yeah, no, I think it feels to me like this has been brewing for a long time, just that we needed something to recognize the officials, and people are starting to realize that without them, the games just don't go on, and lots of times they get ripped, and it feels a little unfair.
Yeah, you're right. Like, quite frankly, without the officials, there is no game, right? So that's how it works. But when we go into this, we accept that when we go in, and we're not always going to make everybody happy. But as long as we're there and we're looking out for the safety of the players and trying to call the game as fair as we can, make sure everything's played within the rules, I think that's what everyone expects.
And as part of our sort of ceremony or our local piece, we got a chance to recognize one of our up-and-coming young referees. So Matt Rempel got a little bit of an award. Tell us about that.
Yeah, he did. He got Hockey Manitoba's Windy Linden Award for the most improved official in the Norman region.
What a name!
Yeah, that was a mouthful, trust me. Yeah, so Matt got that for most improved official in the Norman region. Another good thing that we did, which people might have picked up or not, but we actually were able to recognize one of our senior officials this weekend as well. So Brett Florence.
Yeah.
He's actually, we were talking earlier before that, he's actually been refereeing for 38 years. Back then when he started, they were able to start refereeing when they were 10 years old. So he's one of our most senior officials here, actually the most senior official here in Thompson, and we lean on him a lot. He's mentored not just myself, the senior officials, but a lot of the young ones. Mm-hmm. And we really appreciate all his efforts, He worked with Matt. He's been mentoring Matt as he's been coming up through, and Matt's worked his way up to doing lines even in midget AAA, so that's really good.
Yeah, no, I mean, Brett's a friend of mine, and I was shocked when you said that during the opening. 38 years, I thought, holy cow, that's a pretty good run, and lots of people know him, and I mean, He's excellent. He's fantastic.
Yes, he is. Yeah, he's a fixture here, and especially at the Northstar games, like you guys do the show and everything. So, and again, sometimes a thankless job, but he takes on that responsibility. He takes it very seriously. He's a very dedicated official, and frankly, they're lucky to have him.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. The miles he's put on in northern Manitoba are mind-boggling.
Absolutely, not just for the Norman Northstars, but he does Junior A, Junior B games as well, and even came down and did some bantam games this weekend, which we greatly appreciated.
Fantastic. So you said that he mentored you a little bit, and I know you don't have 38 years in quite yet, but what got you into refereeing?
Basically, Bruce, I decided I wanted to stay involved. My son was getting older. I was moving away from coaching, wanted to stay involved, wanted to give back to Thompson Minor hockey. And once I started doing it, I realized that I actually enjoyed it, enjoyed the challenge. What I enjoy the most is actually trying to get better all the time. And that's why, like I say, I lean on Brett and others like Barry. Constructive criticism is always good, so I always try to better myself and work hard every time I go out there to do the best that I can.
Yeah, no, and I know I was sort of hung around with Barry a bit as he was getting into it, and he was obsessed with it for a little while. I think he still is, but you're right, it's something that sort of, and I say that in a good way, but I mean, when he's watching the games on TV down here, he's really seeing a lot of the officiating, and it's really, I think sometimes we think you guys are out there just to, put in your time, help out a little bit, but really you guys spend a lot of time trying to get better and talking in the room after the games and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, that's a lot what people don't see is actually the conversations that go on in the room after or during the game. We all carry rule books in our bags, something that comes up during the game or a situation we're not familiar with. We're all there looking through the book, trying to improve our skills and trying to get better all the time.
Yeah, no, for sure. My son does a bit too, and he talks about that a lot too, that you guys help out the younger guys and just the young guys too. You think even just that they're kids, but they're in here talking about the games and how the calls went and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, one of our Norman referee in chief is hashtags like Team Stripes, right? So, that's what we look upon ourselves as like a team. We're the third team that's on the ice and we stick together, so.
Yeah. No, I love it. So if people want to get involved like you have, what's the path to becoming you? Or Brent Florence?
Yeah.
You need 40 years.
40 years. No, I guess you have to be first-year bantam, so 13 years old if the younger kids are looking to get involved. And every official has to complete an online course through Hockey Canada, and level 1 and level 2s have to attend a clinic. Everybody has to recertify every year. Level 3s, they have to attend a seminar to do the higher level games. So it's a national certification. Everyone writes the same tests. So usually late September, or I guess late August, early September, there'll be notices out. We're always looking for new officials. We have a couple new adult officials that stepped up this year, so that's really good to see. There's guys that are just like myself wanting to get involved a little later in life, and it's really good to see. So.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. From the bantam age up to the adults, and I know sometimes you struggle with having some adult referees just because you can't have midgets reffing midgets or bantams reffing midgets. So there is always room for adults and for kids as well.
Absolutely, Bruce. Yes.
Super. Donnie Mitchell, referee in chief here in Thompson. See, we didn't even rip you about any calls. No, no hard questions. Thanks for joining us. That was fantastic.
Thank you very much, Bruce.
Christmas episode of 2 on 1. A couple guys that haven't been on the show yet. Well, sort of. You were on kind of at the start talking about the Sellies. So Frederick, Ledoux, Dredyn, Robinson. Fellas, we're not going to talk about this past weekend because it didn't kind of really go the way we were hoping to, and it is the Christmas episode. So let's talk about Christmas plans. You guys get a little bit of a break from hockey. What do you got planned?
Just go see my family, get away from my girl for a while. Just kidding.
You know we don't edit the show, right? That's going out to the world.
Okay. Yeah. Just see my family.
Fantastic. Where's home?
Flin Flon.
Yeah. Favorite place to eat in Flin Flon? We're not even on the 2 on 1, but I love asking this question.
Subway, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. It's kind of weak, but all right. Dredyn, what are you up to? What's the Christmas plans?
Go to Cross Lake and see my family and hang with friends.
I just was on Facebook and I saw a picture of Cross Lake Pizza. Looked pretty good. You a fan?
Yeah, big fan.
They look fantastic. Last time I was there, didn't have any pizza. I will not miss that again. We're doing 2 on 1, so we're going to pick on you a little bit with a couple of questions. I get to start, and so I get the easiest one of all. What do you want for Christmas?
A
Other than to get away from your girl.
new phone.
Yeah. What are we looking at? You iPhone guy or Android guy?
iPhone.
Absolutely. 10?
Whatever's available.
If Santa's got deep pockets, maybe just before you ask a question, what do you want for Christmas?
What? Probably a new stick.
Anything but a lump of coal. What kind of stick do you use?
Sherwood kind.
I like that. I'm all in on the wreckers. That's my thing. That was my first question. What do you got for?
What's your favorite Christmas movie?
Elf.
Elf?
I like Elf. That's a good one.
Paul says no. That might be the end of the interview. How come? Any reason? Just a good movie.
That's a good movie.
One of your faves. If you could meet any movie star, who would it be?
I don't know if I know any. Maybe like
Not a movie guy? Okay. Favorite NHL player?
John Scott.
And for any reason?
It's a big bot out there. Helps out the boys.
You'd love to have a guy like that backing you up on the ice. Dredyn, what's your next one?
How tall you want to be?
I want to be like, I don't know. It's like 6'5", maybe.
Is there any chance of that? You got big, tall people in your family?
No, my dad's pretty short.
Dare to dream. It could happen.
Yeah.
What'd you have for breakfast today?
I didn't eat breakfast.
Is that because you're lazy or there was no time?
Cutting weight.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You'll never grow to 6'5" if you don't eat breakfast. I'm just saying.
What's your favorite subject in school?
English. I love English.
Oh, yeah? What's your favorite part about it? Writing or just the grammar? Reading Shakespeare?
Yeah, love Shakespeare. Love reading the books. Everything's great about it.
My next question, I'm going off book on this one. Why are you cutting weight?
Are
you in the UFC?
I don't know. Just trying to get quicker out there, you know? Yeah. Basically it.
All right. I'd suggest breakfast. Just lighten up on the lunches. Dredyn, what else you got?
What's your favorite song?
Good one.
Punchline by Aiden Martin.
Ooh, I do not know that song at all. You? No? Paul? Nah, did you make that up?
No.
Okay. We'll YouTube it. We'll drop it in. I'll give you one more. You got one more question?
No.
Nothing? Last one that we finish with all the time, black or white tape?
Black.
How come? Any reason?
No. I don't have a reason, actually.
That whole myth about hides the puck and all that kind of stuff? No? Just looks good? Had some good luck with it?
Yeah.
Frederick, Ledoux, Dredyn Robinson, thanks for joining me. That's 2-on-1. Thanks to those two guys on the 2-on-1, Dredyn Robinson and Frederick Ledoux. I'm going to get that. We want to thank Donnie Mitchell as well, referee in chief, for telling us about the Thank the Stripes program and the weekend. Congratulations to Matt Rempel for his award and to Brett Florence, 38 years of refereeing. That's a lot of years. How old are you?
I am 25.
All right. Flo had 13 good years in, although he started when he was 10, so young guy, but I thought that was just a great chat with Donnie Mitchell. I really appreciate him coming on the show. Thanks to the hair, Melstead. He's going to become a regular on here. He is a regular already in a big hurry, but thanks to him for telling us what just happened here and for looking so good. And thank you, Stuart Walter, North Star Insider, for our chat with Coach James Buchanan.
Yeah, and it should be a great series this weekend against Kenora. I talked to the coach before the season. He was saying Kenora is probably his favorite game that he looks forward to, wakes up that much earlier for. So hopefully they can get a few more goals than last time they played the Thistles. It should be a really fast-paced game. Probably a lot of penalties. There was about 40 minutes over the weekend and also when they played in Kenora, but it should be a very good weekend.
Sort of a long history with the Thistles, too. When Coach Corman was at the helm, we had an absolutely wicked rivalry with those guys, and that's carried over into some of these. So expect, like you say, some fast-paced, I think, exciting games this weekend.
Yes, definitely. And remember, if you're coming out to the Saturday game, there will be a Salvation Army Christmas kettle, so bring some change to help support the local food bank.
Absolutely. Our North Star Insider, Stuart Walter, you're going to be down here running the penalty box and looking for donations for the food bank and the kettle. So thanks for that. On behalf of myself, our whole crew at Shaw, Paul Anderson, and the North Star's biggest fan, Taz Higgins, we want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you back here in the new year on the North Star Show.